It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Let me talk to you. Hello, I'm Luke Michael Howard, clinical hypnotist and owner of Hypnosis. Hypnosis here tonight with the inaugural Hypnosis show. Like the bag says, please do forgive me because I'm simulcasting on Facebook, YouTube, multiple Facebook pages, Instagram, TikTok and X all at once tonight. So if you see my eyes darting around, it's because I'm trying to keep an eye on all of you and all of your comments and get back with you or to you. So tonight's show and going forward is going to be a live hypnosis show each and every week on all of those 5 social media platforms, and it's all going to be about hypnosis. And every month and sometimes every week those subjects will change as it relates to hypnosis and how it can help you to transform certain areas of your life. As I see many people are joining us right now, if you have just joined us on everywhere but TikTok, you will see a comment that says let me know if you're watching now. Just leave a comment below so I know that you can see and hear me. That would be lovely. And we've got KJ here. KJ from YouTube says, hey buddy, thank you for joining the show, KJ. So like I say, we're on multiple social media platforms right now. So this month we're going to specialize in the hypnosis show. Going to specialize in Sober October. So it's Sober October, isn't it? If you are engaging in Sober October, if you're looking to be sober this October, if that's something you are doing, then put it in the comments below. If you're observing Sober October, if you are in fact doing this, I'd be interested. Leave a comment below and how Sober October is going. We're just over a week, aren't we? We're actually 1/3 into it right now, so 10 days. So if you're observing Sober October, leave a comment below. Basically, what we're going to be doing tonight is Jamie Bieber. We can hear you here, my friend. Lovely. Hey, Jamie, how are you? I know who you are. Thanks for watching. Hope you're doing well, buddy. You actually came into my mind yesterday. I was actually thinking about you. I read it as Justin Bieber for a moment. I'm like, oh, well, the show's got that big already. But he's having some tough times right now, isn't he? Justin Bieber. Him and P. Diddy. But that's a different story. Yeah, so it's all about Sober October. So if you're enjoying... That's right. If you're enjoying Sober October, if you're observing Sober October, please put a comment below. And basically, I don't know how long this show is going to be. We're going to see who's interacting and comment and so forth. Oh, there we go. So I want to share a story with you tonight. In fact, a story about being sober. And I want to share a technique with you as well. That I use with many of my hypnosis clients to help them if they are in the grasp of alcohol and they want to get off of it, if they want to have a break from that. Please do bear with me. Yeah, so I'm going to be sharing that story with you, a real story a little bit later on, about clients and me, Sober October, how it all works, how I got into this. I'm going to share a technique as well. If you are observing Sober October, if you're looking to get rid of alcohol consumption in your life, whether that's forever or whether that's just a month, I'm going to share a technique with you a little bit later on. So do stay tuned to that. Now, it's like actually running a real bloody television station here. I've got this special platform, right? This platform lets me simulcast to Facebook, YouTube, Facebook again, because they've got multiple pages, Twitter or X, as it's called now. And I'm having to do TikTok from my phone, so TikTok's going to be a little bit different. So I'm curious, if you're watching anywhere from other than TikTok right now, you'll probably see a little blue thing written at the bottom. What social are you observing? What social are you watching me from right now? I would be curious to know. What platform are you watching me from now? Is it Facebook? Is it YouTube? Is it X? Is it TikTok? Put that in the comments. That'd be interesting. Yeah. So Sober October. So the first thing I heard about Sober October, if I'm honest with you, was I was watching the Joe Rogan show or listening to it a few years ago, and he mentioned this thing called Sober October. In England, where I'm originally from, they have a thing called Stoptober, and Stoptober is a campaign to help people to stop smoking over the month of October. But in Canada and North America, where I am right now, it's Sober October, stopping drinking. And to be honest, I don't care if people drink or not. I'm personally straight edge and hardcore, but I don't care if people drink or not. But oftentimes people come to see me because they want to quit drinking. They're drinking too much. If you are someone that does drink too much and wants to stop this affecting you mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, then you should see a little scroller at the bottom that says stop binge drinking. I've produced 10 free videos. Yes, 10 free videos on stop binge drinking. You should see it on the little scrolling platform text below. If you'd like those videos, it's 10 videos. It's about 4 hours of free content. Just go to stop binge drinking or follow the little scroller at the bottom of the screen, and you can get those 10 videos, which equal about 4 hours of content, and you can watch those and give you some ideas about how to indeed stop drinking, whether that's for life or for October there and then. So I'm curious also, folks, as he looks at the comment and multitasks, I'm going to read some of the comments right now. Hey, YouTube. That's right. Jamie's on YouTube. What other platforms are you watching me on, guys? I'm curious. We know YouTube is covered right now. Anybody viewing from Facebook right now? If you're watching from Facebook, I want to see if my little comments are working here. So put Facebook if you are watching from Facebook right now. And there's some of these things I have to go on in the actual moment to see. Some of these comments come up. It's like I'm running like a TV show. I'm doing all of these things at once right now to read your comments because I don't want to miss your comments. Okay. Anyone else made any comments? Let's have a look. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So if you're watching on TikTok right now, put a little message. I'm having to do TikTok on the cell phone because this is my program on my desktop. Boring shit. You don't want to know this. Doesn't cover TikTok. But yeah, if you are watching from TikTok, put TikTok in the comments, please. It will help me to know who the actual beam, the signal is going out. If you're watching from Facebook, please put Facebook. If you're watching from X, please watch from X. If you're watching from somewhere else, be curious where you're watching from. But yeah, like I say, every month and every week, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern will be the Hypnosis show, whatever the platform you're watching right now. And this month, because it's Sober October, I'm going to be sharing stories, some techniques to help people. And the way I work is I believe in giving real practical tools that you can actually leave this live tonight and to administer on yourself to overcome the craving, the urge to drink. You can use it for other things as well, to be honest, but we're focusing on that this month. Next month will be something else, but we're going to take advantage of this nationwide, countrywide, North American-wide thing of Sober October. I'm curious, which country are you watching from right now? Because it's going on all my social media platforms. Close to 1 million views, subscribers, followers on the Facebook, on the YouTube, on the X, on the Instagram, TikTok, in case I haven't said that already. So I'm curious, this is going all around the world right now. So what country are you watching me from right now? Put it in the comments below. I'll be keeping an eye on those comments as we go along tonight. Like I said, please bear with me because I'm having to go to like literally 5 different screens to make sure that this is going out there. If you've got me, if anyone watches from Facebook right now, if you could just put in the comments Facebook, because well, it should be on Facebook right now, but I can't see if it's going live on Facebook right now. Oh, I think I am live on Facebook. That's great. Lovely. Facebook seems to be working fantastic. YouTube is good. X. Anyone watching on X? So X is working. Lovely. Thank you so much. All right. Very good. Canada. Jamie's watching from Canada. Yeah, lovely. Thanks, Jamie. Where else are people watching from? Put in the comments below where you are watching from here tonight. Okay. So I'm just looking at what's going on my other screen here on TikTok. You know, the interesting thing about TikTok is I did a little trial, right? Did a little trial over last week. Is they've got these weird things on TikTok where you have to accumulate a certain amount of live time in order for things to unlock, to get more perks and stuff when you're doing live streams like this. And so what I did is I put the live stream on as I went to bed, so you just saw like a darkened version of my couch, to be honest, just so I could accumulate those magical points while I was sleeping, because I believe in efficiency. And I'd wake up and like literally hundreds of people would have watched the live, which was like, you see this couch? If I turn all the lights off, you would barely see it. But like hundreds of people were watching it at like 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, were watching my couch, which is a bit weird. And we like get hundreds of thumbs up on TikTok. So it was a curious thing. I wasn't actually doing anything. So if you joined us from TikTok, put it in the comments below. If you're observing Sober October, if you're looking to stop drinking, put it in the comments below, because this is what we are specializing in helping you with this month. Creepy people. That's right. Some people are creepy. I mean, like, I got some interesting tastes, but I don't know if I want to look at someone's couch at 3 o'clock in the morning when there's no light, so you barely make an outline. It is, yeah, it's a weird thing. All right, so where are we? Let's have a little look at the banners. If you want those 10 recordings, free recordings on how to stop binge drinking, then you should notice at the bottom of the screen, it should say stop binge drinking. You go over to my website, sign up, doesn't cost you anything. It's 10 videos totaling about 4 hours of content to help you to get to grips with stopping drinking. And you can find out about some of the other stuff that I do there as well. So let's see if the magic of this works. Bold! That headline should have just changed at the bottom there. So as I started off today, what do you want to talk about? So folks, we are going to talk about Sober October. I'm going to give you some tips, going to share a story or two with you about drinking or clients that drank and techniques I've used with them. But also, what do this is an interactive environment here. So I want to know what you want to talk about as it relates to hypnosis, becoming sober, stopping drinking. So please do put that in your comments below, because I want to be answering, I want to be communicating, I want to be interacting with you. I want to make sure that I'm delivering the content, the right content for your ears, so it helps you. So what would you like to talk about? Or as LA Knight would say, oh no, it's not LA Knight, is it? LA Knight is someone else. No, LA Knight did something else. I'm getting my wrestlers mixed up here. Anyways, forget it. What do you want to talk about tonight? It's Cody Rhodes. So what do you want to talk about tonight? What do you want to talk about as it relates to hypnosis? What do you want to talk about as it relates to being sober? What do you want to talk about as it relates to personal change? The only way I can know what you want to talk about is if you put the comments below, so I can have a little read, see what you're putting there. Like I say, I'm manning this thing here tonight and seeing these comments. I'm having to go through all of these platforms right here, because sometimes this app that I'm using, it will display the comments on the app, and other times I actually have to directly go into the social media platform to see what the comments are. Let's have a look what that says right there. I've got quite a few people. That's lovely. All right. As the number clicker goes up. All right, so I promised you, didn't I? So let me tell you a little bit about me. If you know me, if you've ever watched a product, if you've ever watched a video, if you've ever read a post, if you've ever come to any of my talks, if you've ever listened to a podcast, if you've ever worked with me one-on-one, please put it in the comments below. Be interesting to see who I'm reaching out and touching there. Melanie Germain, aka the Hypno Pixie, is watching on Facebook. Great to see you live. Thank you very much to the magical, amazing, wonderful, beautiful, inside and out Hypno Pixie. So how did I get involved in? Well, why do I help people become sober if they choose to? Well, growing up, my dad used to drink a lot, drank a lot, probably drank himself to death, to be honest. Um, and in England, where I'm from, it's a very high drinking culture, right? Everyone that I knew drank, especially guys, like, just drink and drink and drink. And my dad would drink a lot. Certainly, it wasn't violent or anything like that. But he's probably a functional alcoholic. He'd probably get hammered about Monday, Wednesday, Friday when he'd come to see us, and probably Saturday and Sundays. It's about 5 days a week. Yeah, he would drink a lot. He would become silly when he would drink a lot. You know, not violent, not angry, but it was, you know, probably the only time I really got any emotion out of him. And although I loved my dad, he passed away a couple of years ago in COVID. I'd made a decision that I just didn't want to be like that. Right? I didn't want to drink. I saw the effects that it was doing to him, and I didn't want to be like that. And I'm certainly not here judging people. If you drink responsibly and you enjoy it, fantastic. Keep doing it. That's your life. I'm not here to preach people to stop. I'm only here when people put their hand up and say, I drink too much and it's making me suffer, and it's hurting me, it's hurting my family, it's hurting my opportunities in life, in my career, my health, and I really want to stop, but I don't know how. Probably tried rehab, probably tried AA, probably tried other forms of therapy, maybe even some kind of medication, but nothing worked. And Luke, I need some help from someone different. I need some help with you. So that's when I come online. I'm certainly not here to judge or to tell people if they drink responsibly and they enjoy it to stop. That's what you do. Fantastic. I personally don't, but more power to you. But I made the mental decision when I was 12 or 13 not to drink because my dad had had a heart attack and he'd gone to hospital, and it was accumulation of drinking and smoking alcohol. And he had a heart attack. I was about 13, and I remember going to the hospital and seeing my dad hooked up to all kinds of medical machinery. And if I'm honest, the moment I walked into that hospital, my dad wasn't moving. So I shit myself. I thought my dad was dead because no one told me. Like, he's had a heart attack, going to the hospital, he's not moving. I thought my dad would die. Had died as soon as I went in the room. It was very scary, and I'd made the decision. I just didn't want to do that. If ever I had kids, I have no kids that I'm aware of. I know it's a joke. It's a lame one, but I use it. I didn't want to put them through that. And in England, we have this thing, we call it like laddish culture. And it's guys, typically guys, and there's certainly ladettes would be the female version. And male or females that are very young, just drink too much, and they get aggressive, they get loud, they get obnoxious, they get fucking annoying. And I just didn't want to be like that. I just didn't want to be like it. So I probably had drank in my life. I'm 45 right now. I probably drank in my life less than 5 times, all before the age of 20. And so like a beer or wine or like a Bailey's, that was it. And I still had a taste of it, and I realized it wasn't for me. But in England, where I'm from London, it's not cool. It's not cool not to drink. If you don't drink, when I grew up in the 90s, you kind of ostracized. It's not cool. You are not a funky, cool person if you do not drink, especially when like your family members or friends do. But I'd made that decision not to do that. And, probably went until, I'm going to say 2006, which was about 18 years ago. So I would have been around about 25, big wrestling fan, right? And this wrestler come on the scene called CM Punk, came to WWE. And this guy's whole gimmick was he was straight edge. I didn't know what straight edge was. What straight edge? He looked cool. He had these tattoos, this long hair, and it just seemed really cool. And he was like talking about not drinking and like his only addiction is competition and wrestling. I'm like, oh wow, here's a representative from somewhere that I like wrestling, big wrestling fan, from an EI to a grasshopper, and here's someone that I find is cool. And he's promoted it's actually okay not to drink. You can go to concerts, you can have fun, you can socialize, you can get girls, get guys if that's your thing, and you can still be very, very cool and not drink. And it was the first time I'd seen that represented in the media, in forms of entertainment or sports entertainment. So I'm like, oh, they were about to sing Straight Edge, and I realized Straight Edge is not drinking, not smoking, not doing any drugs, and not gambling. I put in there no hookers as well, but I don't know if that's officially part of it, right? But then I was like, holy shit, here's somebody who is cool, looks cool, is a wrestler, great look, and they don't drink. Wow, and they're preaching you can still be very successful, happy, great competitor, great wrestler, and not drink. And it was like, wow. So CM Punk became like my first, I guess, I don't want to say role model, all right? But the first kind of beacon, the first light that showed me it was okay not to be a drinker. And I know times have changed, but I'm talking about being in England in the 90s when everyone I knew drank. So seeing this guy, CM Punk, in 2006, actually, even though I wasn't drinking, but seeing someone be really cool, it's like, holy shit, I don't have to drink. I can still be a part of society. I can be part of other societies and other groups, misfits, and it's cool. It's cool to do that. And so that's really when I started to learn about straight edge, and really straight edge, like I say, is not drinking, not smoking, not doing any drugs, not gambling, and maybe or maybe not using hookers. Who knows? And then I realized it was a whole movement, and the straight edge movement came from punk music, hence why my nickname is the Hypnopunk. In punk music, especially in America and in England a little bit, is when youngsters went to punk concerts in the 90s, the concerts, the establishment, the bars, the clubs, they didn't want to be shut down. And anyone of any age, after the age of about 11, I don't know if like 7-year-olds were going, would go to these bars, these clubs, to these straight edge, these punk concerts. But the establishment would be shut down if the establishment sold alcohol to the young people in there. So what they did is they'd get like a big marker pen. Maybe it was red, maybe it was black, and they put an X on the back of their wrist. I don't have an X on the back of my wrist, but I have an X right there on both of my wrists. And the X was to tell people that this person is underage, so don't serve them any liquor. So young people under 16 in England, 18, I think, in North America, could go to these concerts, to go to punk concerts, have fun, could even get into fights and mosh pits and stuff like that, right? But not to be served alcohol. So a whole movement spanned from that, musicians spanned from that, and that's how the whole straight edge community was born. So it was good to see something out there where I didn't have to go around with what everyone else, what my peers were doing. I could be part of something else. I could be a misfit without having to drink. I get in enough trouble without having to drink, to be honest. Drinking would just be another problem. Yeah, so that's kind of how I got into being sober. And yeah, I haven't drank in 25 years, and that was only 5 like times, even if you count that, 5 separate drinks, I think, in my life. And but that was just a decision that I made. Anyways, long story short, I started to attract people as a hypnotist, as a change worker, somebody that helps people change their emotions, their beliefs, their patterns that have been holding them back, whether it's drinking too much, drugging too much, smoking too much, and they want to quit. I started to attract a lot of people that had become disenfranchised with NA, Narcotics Anonymous, AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, rehab centers, other counselors, therapists, psychologists. Medication hadn't helped them, and they'd go to counseling, and the counselor would be like, "Oh, they're there." I don't know if they stroked them or not. It'd be, if a counselor's stroking you, you probably want to leave the office. But oh, there, tell me how tough your life is. Here's a newsflash, guys. Everyone has a tough fucking life. I have a tough life. Everyone has a tough life. No one gets off easy, right? We've all got our addictions, except all of our addictions are created the same, right? Like, and someone who's addicted to heroin is a bit different to me who's addicted to wrestling, right? They're addictions, but they're not all on the same level. Like, I probably can live to be about 80 watching wrestling and not die, I don't know if I'm using heroin every day, if I'm making it to 80, right? But we've all got our addictions, but they're not all negative. We're all addicted to something. Um, but it's about choosing the right addiction for you. So people come to me when they want to stop drinking, and I would track a lot of these people even before I'd really advertise it. People were like, "Oh, I don't know, something about you, the way you talk," and I don't know why. I never drank. People are like, you help people stop drinking, and you've never really drank. Yeah. Well, how do you do that, Luke? Well, I'm like, well, that's a bit like saying you've got cancer and you go to the cancer surgeon and he cuts the cancer out of you and then you're cancer free. Does the surgeon ever have to have had cancer himself or herself in order to operate on you and help you heal? Well, the answer is no. Of course not. Right. So no, I've never been addicted to an illicit substance, but I've been addicted to other things in my life. So yeah, not all addictions are created equally, or I should say they're not all as devastating as alcohol can be out there. But all that to say, I don't need to have drank in order to help people stop drinking. I don't need to have been fat to help people become slim. I don't need to do these particular things in the same way a surgeon doesn't have to have had the whatever the thing is they're cutting out of your body. They don't have to have had it on their body and cut it out of their body in order to help you. No, they go to school to help people. And I know this wasn't something I chose. I didn't chose to specialize in helping people stop binge drinking. It kind of chose me, and here I am helping people stop binge drinking or over drinking or problem drinking, whatever label you want to put it. If you're over consuming alcohol, that's what I specialize in helping people with. So I want to share a little story with you. Hey, Amanda, how are you? Good. Fantastic. Just reading Jamie's comment right here. I'm just along for the ride. Thanks to you. Wow. Well, yeah. So Jamie put it up on the screen there. Jamie's 100 days without alcohol. That's bloody amazing, Jamie. It's true. I was thinking about you actually. It was either yesterday morning on my way to my MMA class or today, because I hadn't heard from you for a bit. So it's really lovely to hear that you're still doing bloody amazing. 100 days. Yeah, Jamie came to see me for some stuff, and 100 days later, I'm sure he doesn't mind because he's put in the comment here and he made a video for me. And yeah, he hasn't drank in 100 days. It's bloody amazing, Jamie. I'm proud of you, man. You're doing great. It's fantastic to read that. So I want to share a little. That's right. Yeah. Amanda, shouts out to you, Jamie. Amanda's on Facebook. She's saying congratulations to you for that. Oh, Jamie. Yeah, Jamie's like cigarettes, drugs, alcohol. It's all done. That's amazing. Yeah, some of these comments, guys, you might hear me referencing somebody who's not on the platform. So I'm speaking to Jamie, and he's on YouTube, and Amanda's on Facebook. So you might not see those comments. So I'm sharing those comments if they don't cross-pollinate, so to speak. All right, I said I was going to share a story with you. But if you're just new to joining us, this is the Hypnosis Show. I am Luke Michael Howard. If you want help stopping binge drinking, over drinking, problem drinking, you'll see a little scrolling thing at the bottom that says stop binge drinking, stopbingedrinking.com. You can just go there and get my 10 free videos that total about 4 hours to help you get to grips and start to do the work in overcoming problem or over drinking right there. Yes, so I will change his name to protect him, but it's not Jamie, all right? It's someone else. I had a client from the UK, and we were doing Zoom sessions, as I do all my work now. I'm based in Toronto, Canada, but I have clients from England, from America, from Australia, and it's a bit expensive for them just to fly over for a session. So we do everything over Zoom. And then people are like, you can do this hypnosis stuff over Zoom? Don't you need to touch someone to do hypnosis? Don't you need to be in the same room as them to do hypnosis? To which I say, if the hypnotist, the therapist, the change worker, the Reiki person, the counsellor, if they're touching you with your eyes closed or open, it's a bit fucking weird. So you should probably leave that room immediately. So no, we don't need to touch someone in hypnosis. And it doesn't matter if we're 5 feet apart or 5,000 miles apart with the Atlantic Ocean between us, as long as the client can see and hear me and I can see and hear them, because the thing we're changing the problems inside their head, inside their body, as long as they can follow simple instructions like close their eyes and think of this and think of that, then absolutely they can be hypnotized and get shifts and change. Hey Amanda, Jamie says thank you over at YouTube. Thank you for the comment. Yeah, so hypnosis can be done anywhere as long as you can follow simple instructions. Your IQ's above 48, which means you're not severely developmentally delayed. Now, I've never met somebody who came to see me for change work who was severely developmentally delayed, but you'd swear they were a bit retarded when they came in. So as long as you can follow simple instructions, you can be successful in hypnosis. You've got to want to be there. You've got to want to do the work in between your ears as well. If you're new, if you just joined us, this live stream is the Hypnosis Show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on whatever social media platform you are watching right now. Put in your comments what platform you are watching us from right now. Oh, J-Lo's joined us. I don't know if it's DJ Lo, but she's with us. Hey, Katie, how are you? Katie's joined us. Steve has joined us. Who else has joined us here? Just going through the TikTok. Gary's joined us. Larry. Wow. Jessica. How are you all doing, folks? A lot of people. Didn't even notice all of that. Katie. I said Katie, didn't I? All right. So, as I was saying, this client will change his name. We'll call him D. We'll call him D, this client. And he'd come to me because basically his wife had left him. She'd come back. But the only reason she'd come back, she's like, you drink too much, D. And if you keep drinking, I'm going to leave you. And he was part of a very religious family, had a number of children. And he liked drinking, as most people do. Most people like drinking. The smokers that I typically see like smoking. The crack addicts I see like crack. The gamblers I see like gambling. The drinkers like drinking. That's why they do it. Yes, it gets other needs met. It scratches other itches, but they bloody enjoy the drinking. Otherwise, why would they do it? They're like, look, Kim, I enjoy it. Like, yeah, okay, I know you enjoy it, but do you want to stop it? And if they're like, not really, I don't really want to stop it, Luke, or no, I'm kind of just here because I want to appease my wife or husband. I want them to see that I've done some work, but secretly I don't really want to quit drinking, so I'm not really going to do the work. Then respectfully to those people, I say, with love and respect, fuck off. Because I only want to help you if you want my help, not to be your next failure. Right? If you want my help, love to help you. If you don't want my help, totally cool as well. But don't come because someone's put a metaphorical gun to your head, saying, "Well, if you don't change your life, I am going to leave you." And if you're not changing for you, then it ain't going to work. Doesn't mean your change, your shift in your life, in your situation, isn't going to help them. But it has to be for you. It has to be for you first and foremost. All right. So D's like, oh yeah, just because my wife left me and now she's here, but I want to kind of appease her. I'm like, D, because his daughters were in on the call, the screening call. I'm like, can you get your daughters to leave? He's like, yeah. I'm like, listen, is your daughters, your wife in the room right now? Because we were doing this over Zoom. He's like, no. I'm like, man to man, honestly, and I don't care what you say, just be honest with me, right? Do you actually want to quit drinking? If we take your daughters and your wife out of the equation, let's just pretend it's a bizarro world and they don't exist. Would you actually want to stop drinking? Honestly, please be honest with me. I don't care what your answer is. He's like, actually, Luke, yeah, I actually do. Yeah, it will positively affect them, but I actually want to stop drinking for myself. So I'm like, all right, lovely. Then I can probably help you. And one of these, we did some hypnosis work, and he was drinking, oh bloody hell, what was it he said to me? He was drinking like 5 cans of cider a night, like the big cans of it, every single night. And we did one session and over Zoom, and I think that went down to it was instead of 5 cans, it was 3 cans. Is it? Went down to like a little bit, and then we did the second session, and it went down to, instead of every night, it was one can in 2 weeks. It was one can in 2 weeks, and then it was zero. It went to zero in 3 sessions. He said, Luke, but I've got a trigger though, Luke. I've got many triggers, but I've got this one particular trigger. Whenever I'm at a social gathering, it was part of a big family, and they're very religious, so they got together a lot, right? He's like, my nephews, they give me a hard time. And if I'm not drinking, they just tease me, they razz me, they give me a hard time, and I end up like having to drink just to get them like off my back. I'm like, he's like, can you help me with that going forward? Because I'm doing great now, but what happens when there's a next family function and what have you? You know, what's going to happen? I said to him, well, do you have a different brain at your next family function than you have right now? Now, yeah, we could get metaphysical on you, but technically, no. He's like, no, look, I'm going to have the same brain. Is your name going to change? He's like, no, I'm going to have the same name. Are you going to have different nephews? He's like, no, I'm going to have same nephews. I'm like, all right, so if you haven't drank for the last 3 weeks, why are you suddenly going to change here? He's like, well, I get that, but what about the pressure? What about they give? I'm like, okay, so we stepped out of the box of hypnosis for a little bit, and I wanted to give him practical stuff because I you can give all the theory in the world, but theory is a bit like masturbation. It's a waste of time and fluid, right? I believe in giving people practical skills that they can use, administer in real world, in real time, when the shit hits the proverbial fan. Probably being demonetized for all this colorful language. And I should have a disclaimer at the beginning of these lives. Warning, I use a lot of colorful language, or warning, I use a lot of bad language. So we worked on a thing. And I should tell you as well, D had actually tried to top himself. Now, in my English viewers right now will understand what topping means. It's different from the BDSM community. In England, topping means trying to kill yourself. All right, he tried to kill himself a few weeks before we started work, and he didn't tell me this. So, like, when I was doing the intake before I took him on as a client, he failed to mention this, which is pretty bloody significant, right? But yeah, and he'd been in hospital for a while. He'd been in hospital for the physical damage that he'd caused himself. He'd been trying to kill himself. And I think he'd been in a psych ward as well, if memory serves me right. It was a little bit of time ago. But he didn't tell me this. He didn't confess this or put it on the screening form, which I require before I take clients on as clients, or when I spoke to him for free for the screening actual call to see if I could help him and be a good client. He forgot to divulge this to me. So this only comes up on the 3rd session that he'd try to kill himself. Geez, I wish I knew that coming in. So I said, all right, so let's work on something, a tangible thing that you can use, right? So when you are at a family gathering, I'm like, do you still want to go to the family gathering? He's like, yeah, I like them, I enjoy them, I'm not going to stop that. I'm like, all right. So we have to give him, help to co-create with him something that he could use at family gatherings to get his nephews off his back. So we're there, and I'm like, and then he put this into his own words. Okay. He's like, yeah, they keep razzing me, keep giving me a hard time until I drank. I'm like, obviously they don't understand. I'm like, do they know that you just tried to top yourself, that you tried to kill yourself, and you just recently spent time in hospital, and your bloody wife had left you because you're drinking too much, and you weren't the man she fell in love with, and your daughters don't want to be around you? Do they know? It's like, no. I'm like, well, maybe bringing that up at a social, family, religious gathering, where it's party and celebration in some form or fashion. Perhaps it's not the most appropriate way or appropriate time to bring that up, but we needed to co-create something for him. So I think we came to the term something along the lines of, when they started teasing him again, as the trigger, right, we rehearsed something along the lines of taking the nephews to one side and be like, listen, I know you're just having fun, but I nearly lost my life recently to alcohol, and my doctor told me that I need to stop drinking because I might lose my wife and I might die. Heavy, right? But it was a truth bomb. And he didn't go into details of him trying to kill himself, but it was true. His doctor did say, if you don't stop drinking, you could die. So it wasn't a line. So he worked that into his own language, his own terminology. So it was coming from him. I'm like, do you think that's something that you could administer? If they're giving you a hard time and you know that's a trigger, you could pull them to the side and just kind of disperse that. He's like, yeah, I think I could do that, and he did. And they were very understanding. He didn't go into the full in-depth trying to kill himself or anything like that, but he said it, and they stopped like teasing him after that point. Then going to social gatherings room, which is a huge bloody trigger, stopped. Well, he kept going to social gatherings, family gatherings, but the trigger was gone at that point. And that was on top of all the hypnosis and deprogramming work that were done. But just sometimes having that one line that's loaded, that if someone's around you, and they may be well-meaning, but it can trigger you. It can be very useful. A lot of times I have clients that overeat, right? And they say, look, one of the biggest challenges, Thanksgiving's coming up in North America, or coming up in Canada, actually. And look, oh God, it's when I'm around my family. I overeat, and Thanksgiving's coming up, and then Christmas, and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes that can be one of the biggest triggers, being around people. Hey, Eric, how are you? If you just joined us, please put a comment below. Say hi and say where you are watching from, which country or which state. But sometimes those triggers of being around loved ones who can really frustrate us cause us to fall back into old patterns. And oftentimes it's not because our loved ones, our friends, our relatives are trying to hurt us, but they're used to us being a certain way. So when we start to shift and change, even if it's for our betterment, they can start to get a bit freaked out and try, as we start to step into reclaiming ourselves and stepping into our power and not abandoning ourselves anymore. That can shine a spotlight into them of like, oh, well, if he's not drinking, that means I'm bad because I'm drinking and I don't want to be bad. So let me pull him back to start drinking again. And I don't postulate that necessarily people are doing this consciously. However, some people do, but a lot of times it's unconscious as well. They're doing it unconscious. It's a program that's operating in their mind that they're not even thinking about as they bloody say it. And then before you know it, you're drinking, you're eating too much. So that really helped him on top of the hypnosis work that we've done. Just go look at comments right now, folks. Just put in the comments what social media platform you're watching from. As he changes the little headline right there. It's pretty cool, isn't it? And what country you are watching. And also, if you have any comments about anything I've said tonight, you have any questions about Sober October, if you're engaging in it, if you need some help, any comments, questions about hypnosis or the kind of work that I do, now's the opportunity to do it. Because the only time people get to speak to me, making myself sound all presidential here, and but it's true. I only speak to people when they're my girlfriend or my people at my MMA club, my clients in session. Meaning, oh look, before I book the screening call, which is free, which is an hour with me, we chat. But before I book the call, let me ask you 10,000 questions. Well, no, that's the purpose of the screening call, is to get your questions answered on the call. So the only time you can generally get these questions answered by me is not by email. I think I even took my email off of my website and my telephone number. You have to book the screening call, and then we talk there. So there's a lot of hoops people have to jump through, and the people who jump through those hoops to get on the call, you can pretty much damn well believe they're ready to make some shifts in their lives. But other than doing that, if you want to get my ear, you've got some questions about hypnosis, addiction, and what I do and how I help people, this is the only other way that you're going to get me, is on these lives. All right, so take advantage of it. I'm just going to read some of your comments right now. Let's have a look what people are saying. Rain has joined us. A cool name, Rain. Let's have a look on Facebook. Anyone got any questions going on Facebook? What's going on the YouTube? Oh, we know Jamie's there. What's going on X, formerly known as Twitter? Anyone got any questions on there? Because some of these things I actually have to go back into the site to see if anyone's got some questions before. I don't want to leave anyone out. It's a bit like the Navy SEALs, leave no man or no woman behind. So I'm just looking at the comments here. Anything coming up? Any questions about anything so far, folks? Before I wrap it up, we've given you a technique, a real world technique that you can use if you are having cravings of alcohol or anything. You can use it for anything here. Eric's here, Amanda's here, Jamie's here, Melanie's here, Rain's here somewhere, Kelly's here, Stephanie's here, John's here. Okay, good. All right, so Sylvia's just joined us. Or Sylvia, I should say. Hey, Sylvie, how are you? And the Hypno Pixie is on TikTok, and she is in Canada. There you go. All right, so let me share a technique before I wrap it up tonight. And as I'm sharing this technique, if any questions come up about addiction, about hypnosis, about how I can help, put them in the comments below. I'll read it. And if I don't get it now, I'll come back and I'll go on to all those platforms and I'll respond to all of your comments, all of your questions. But a cool little technique, certainly not something that I invented. By the way, I didn't invent any of this. Didn't invent it, hypnosis or any of the techniques that I use. I didn't invent any of this shit. And the only originality that I've got is all my 25 years of studying personal change, personal development, is how I filter them through my own brain, through my own system, and how I disperse and communicate those with my clients. That's the only originality I bring, is my character to this, and how I put the pieces of the puzzle together from various disciplines, whether that be semantic psychology, neuro-linguistic programming, the Hawaiian shamanistic art of Huna, neuro-linguistic programming, timeline therapy, real-world bloody experience of working with, I don't know, last time I counted was over 10,000 clients. Every problem, many on addiction, many on alcohol, but many kind of problems, every kind of a problem you could imagine, and some problems you never bloody want to imagine. And just being in the trenches and having stuff not work, having stuff work, and just being in there. And I always say my clients are my best teacher, because you can sit and you can read all these bloody textbooks that you want. So many hypnotists and change where they're reading a textbook, right? They're paying for another course, which is great. It's good to continue your ongoing education and growth. I recommend that, but they get stuck in the analysis of paralysis and they don't actually bloody go out there and help people, right? So much of my stuff is developed by, is it practical? Can clients use it? Can they use it in real time in the real world when their shit hits the fan? Does this stuff bloody work? Because many people don't have 50 minutes to talk to someone when the shit's hitting the fan. Many people in the real world don't have a 50 minutes where they can close their eyes and lie down peacefully when they're having a bloody panic attack. All right? They need tools, real stuff that they can use in real time in the real world, whatever the fuck that is, to help them. So that's what I specialize in giving clients real stuff. So they don't need me anymore. They don't need me anyway. So most people don't need anything to change other than make a decision. But sometimes it's good to have a bloody light or someone that's been there that can help you get there a bit quicker. And that's really my job, is to take the guesswork out of your shifts and change. It's not to mollycoddle you. It's not, oh, there, tell me how tough your life is. We already know everyone's got a tough life. I've got a tough life. Everyone on this live tonight, on every bloody platform, has got a tough life in some way. Don't say that to demean you in any way, shape or form. But everyone in their world has got a tough life. What people need is real world things that they can administer and use in the real time that can help them get out of their addiction mindset, whether that be for alcohol, being sober October, whether that be for cigarettes because it's Stop October, what did I say it was called? Stoptober in England, stop smoking the cigarettes, whether that's heroin, crystal, meth, coke, weed, digital. Bloody hell, how many of us are addicted to something digital? Video games, porn, sex, carbs, wrestling. So, all right, let me give you this tool. I'm going to give you the tool. Watch it and do it. If you just watch it, doing it ain't going to help you at all. All right? Just watching this bloody tool, watching me do this bloody thing in a minute where I tap myself like a maniac, just watching me do it doesn't exercise the demons from your system. It only works if you use the tool. And it only works if you use the tool when you need it. Oh my God, I've got this urge to drink right now. And I know I'm doing this Sober October and I've decided not to drink. That's when you bloody use the tool. Do you use it once and you never drink again? Wouldn't that be amazing? You just do this little technique once and you never, ever drink again. But no, you've got to administer it. You've got to use it in real time, but you can do it very quickly. Before I show you it, just reading a comment from Jamie. Thank you for sharing with us tonight. You are an amazing person and truly gifted at your craft. My wife and I enjoyed your live stream. Looking forward to tuning in again next week. I'll hit you up on different social media platforms. Thanks, Jamie. You're amazing. Say hello to your wife. You're doing them. I'm proud of you. Done good bloody work, my friend. Amazing stuff. All right. Very proud of you. Just looking on the other platforms before I show you this technique. In a moment, see if any comments come up. Boom, boom, boom. Who else is here? Nikki. Hey, Nikki. How are you? Nikki's joined us here. Jessica's joined us. Give a shout out to Jessica. Melissa, Kim, Paul. All right, how you all doing? Leave some comments below so I know what platform you're watching from. All right. I'm going to show you a technique right now. Bloody hell, this has gone on longer than I thought. I thought I was going to get on here and do 20 minutes. We're coming up to an hour. All right, let me give you the technique. No more wait. I'm putting this under the frame of Sober October, stopping drinking, but you can use this for any craving, any addiction, any behavior. Even if you've got a lot of anxiety or sadness, you can use it for negative emotions as well. But I'm just using it Sober October because this is the theme this month. All right. So let's say you have an urge to drink alcohol. Okay? And let's say you scale it 0 to 10. 10 is like, oh my God, Luke, if there was some whiskey or your alcohol of choice in front of me right now and you offered it to me, I'd bloody rip your arm out of the socket like Richard Barker doing the hypnosis handshake induction. That's how much I want it. That's how much I crave it. That's how much I need it. And 0 is, I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't desire it. It ain't even coming into my bloody head until you mention it. I don't really care. 10 is high. Oh my God, it's so overwhelming. 0 is completely neutral. All right. So let's say, bloody hell, I've got an urge to drink alcohol. It's a 7 out of 10. You take your right hand. Actually, it doesn't matter what hand you use. I'm just right-handed. You want to use your left hand, use your left hand. I'm using my right hand. And simply, this is what you do. You've got the problem. I want to overindulge in alcohol. I want to drink. What number is it? It's a 7 out of 10, whatever your number is. Okay. You simply tap the top of your head and you simply say, I release and let go. I release and let go. I release and let go. You then tap between your eyebrows with either hand. And as you tap, these are meridian points, acupressure points in Chinese medicine. This helps to unblock your system energetically because we're all electric on some level. You simply tap between your eyebrows. I release and let go. I release and let go. I release and let go. That's part 2. Part 3. Got multiple cameras here, right? So I look weird on the TikTok camera. It's like seeing like from my waist down, and everything else is from the waist up. Anyways, I release and let go. I release and let go. I release and let go. Third area, as he goes to every bloody camera, is side of your eyebrow, essentially there. You tap there. I release and let go. I release and let go. I release and let go. What are you releasing and let go? The problem, right? You can put the thing in there if you want. I release and let go my urge to drink. I release and let go my urge to overeat. I release and let go my need to do crack. Whatever it is, we're doing alcohol this month, right? The 4th place to tap, solar plexus, whole hand open. Solar plexus is the bony bit where your chest meets. Whole hand. I release and let go. I'm not pledging allegiance. I release and let go. I release and let go. I release and let go. So 4th place. The 5th is you simply grab your wrist where you'd wear a wristwatch. You squeeze your wrist. You look at the palm of your hand like it's the most fascinating, curious palm of your hand you've ever seen in your life. And as you squeeze your wrist, you look at the palm of your hand. Simultaneously, you take the deepest breath of your life into your balls. And you hold it for as long as you can, but not a moment longer. That's your breath, I mean, and your wrist. And when you need to breathe out, please do breathe out. That's important. And relax your wrist. Then you take an inventory again. Where's my urge to drink now? 0 to, was it 7? Oh, it's a 5. What do? You do it again. I release and let go. 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 Squeeze your wrists. Look at the palm of your hand. Big deep breath into your balls. Hold your breath for as long as you can, but not a moment longer. And then when you need to breathe out, please do breathe out. Take another inventory. Let's say it's a 2. What do? Great, it's going down. You do another round of it. I release and let go. 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 It would be a little longer than that, but I'm just doing it. Unable to verify. All right. Sorry, folks. My TikTok has gone off. Oh, there we go. All right, TikTok is back. All right. Sorry, TikTok. Hey, how you doing? We went off. So the first step number 1, get the problem. What number is it? Intensity. 0 is the problem doesn't exist. 10 is like very strong. Oh, my urge to drink is a 7. That's the second thing you do. Third thing you do, tap the top of your head. Then you say, I release and let go. Between your eyebrows, I release and let go. Side of your temple, that's the word I'm looking for. I release and let go. Solar plexus, I release and let go. Grab your wrist, squeeze it. Typically what happens is you probably do about 3 rounds of it, and you notice whatever intensity it is, it will go all the way to 0. All right. Do you just do it once and you never have that problem or urge again? Well, chance would be a fine thing. But you're smart, intelligent people because you're watching me on the Hypnosis show. So no, you're probably going to have to do it again because your brain, your neurology is lined up in such a way that you've got this pattern inside your life that you've been doing for a long time. So you think you're going to do this one time in less than 2 minutes and you're never going to do that problem again? No, you're out of your bloody mind. You're out of your bloody mind. Okay, you've got to do it multiple times. But eventually you would have reconfigured your neurology, your neuro pathways in your amygdala. This is the bit that emotes in your brain and causes you to do these addicting behaviors. And it just collapses to one day. You know, it's that trigger time of 8 p.m. on a Wednesday evening, EST. And you would used to reach for alcohol because you were sad, upset, or you don't even know why. You were bored, you were numb, whatever it was, or you want to party, and you just noticed at 9 o'clock or 10, you just didn't do it. Not because you tried to not do it, not because you tried to abstain, you just didn't do it. You just didn't need to do it anymore. Okay, so that can be a very useful tool anywhere. Please use it. Watching me do it ain't gonna help you. Doing it one time ain't going to help you. Doing it multiple times when you need it will help you. If I went a bit too fast, please watch the replay that will be on whatever platform you're watching this on. You can just rewind that bit there. All right. So just going to wrap up now. Anyone got any more questions before we call it a night? Just going on all the platforms, seeing if anyone has any questions. And again, if people are watching this after the fact, I will respond to your comments when I see them. Nikki's there. Central Park Cafe's there. All right. Interesting name. Excellent. Amanda says, awesome tool. Yeah, it's very useful. Very useful. Very, very handy. Excuse me. Jamie says, hard work, determination, and desire saved my life. Thanks again, Luke. Well, thank you for being ready, Jamie, to make those shifts and allow me to help you to save yourself. And she did an amazing bloody job. Excellent. So we'll be back next Wednesday. Same Luke time, same Luke place, same Luke channel. The next live, again, focusing on the Sober October. Any questions about hypnosis, being sober, getting clean, please come in with the questions, ask the questions, and I will endeavor to answer your questions and help you. But other than that, folks, I'm calling it a night, as we like to say here at Hypnosis. Always believe. Have a good night. See you next week.